What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassidy and this is my planted paradise. So for today's video, I'm not sure how well you can see, but we're bringing back some Hoya content. I've had a couple people say how much they miss seeing Hoyas or that they'd like to see more Hoyas, and don't worry, I still love my Hoyas. I've just been on a bit of an aeroid kick lately, but with that being said, a lot of my Hoyas need some TLC, so we're gonna start that today. So I've brought several of my Hoyas over here that I really, honestly, I need to cut them. Several of them need to be repotted, and there's just a lot that needs to be done. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and just get started. So first we'll go ahead and start taking the cuttings that I want to take, and then we'll go from there. So I've got my scissors. You should disinfect your scissors every time you use them. What are you doing? Between a different plant, but I never do because I'm lazy and I like to live life on the edge. I don't recommend. So let's just go ahead and start. So first we have my really sad Hoya Michelle. So this guy obviously is struggling a bit. You can tell she's in this small terracotta pot, and Jodo, can we just have one video where my animals aren't getting into something? That would be so super cool, but I don't know that it's possible. Anyways, so she's in this small terracotta pot and she's been sun bleached really bad by my grow light, and I think she needs to be repot, and I want to take some cuttings because this is a really sad plant right now, honestly. So we're gonna go ahead and make a couple cuts. So first one, I think I'll cut right there. There's that. And this is what the plant is going to be left with. Come on, focus. That lighting is insane. There we go. So that's what she's going to be left with, just 2 leaves and then this little vine right here. And then we are going to repot this into something other than terracotta. So I've got these 2 leaves here, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut them again. Let me see. I think I'm gonna cut, I don't know if I want to leave this node here for this to grow something out of or for this to root out of more. Obviously they can root wherever, but okay, I'll leave it for the bottom leaf. So there is, Jodo, stop. So there is one of our cuttings, and then here is the other one. Jodo won't stop shaking the tripod. There's the other one. Jodo, you're making this difficult. Get out. I swear, she just lives to make me go crazy. I keep not turning my phone off when I'm recording. Okay, next Hoya we're gonna go on to is this. This is Hoya, Jodo. This is my Hoya Tong. Tong. I'll put the name on the screen. And this guy is obviously one long vine. I am kind of sad to be cutting her right now because she is working on new leaves, and I'm afraid they're not going to come out very good if I cut her, but I always do that with my Hoyas. Jodo, please stop. Go. Anyways, I get nervous to cut them, but I always ended up saying that, and then they start working on new leaves again after these leaves have hardened off, and I just know I'll never actually cut it if I don't just do it. So we're just gonna do it. So yeah, we're gonna cut her. She's just gonna be left with these 3 leaves at the bottom. So let's see, let's make the first cut about right there. And there is what she's left with, just these 3 little leaves. It's a really cute Hoya, but it'd be nicer if it was more full and not just one long vine. So there's the Hoya Doi Tong after I cut it. Now this cutting that I'm sad about, I don't know if I should leave this cutting as it is with these small leaves and that one big leaf, because I'm afraid if I cut it into more cuttings there won't be enough like leaf that's fully formed to photosynthesize and make energy for it. So I might leave it as that for now at least, and then hopefully those leaves will continue forming and then I can cut it into more. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, the next Hoya. This Hoya, she desperately needs a repot. Look at all those exposed roots. They're so dried and there is so much algae in here. It's not even funny. This was sold to me as, I believe, Hoya Macrophylla Snow Queen, but she isn't super splashy like a snow queen would be. I don't know if it's just the conditions that I have her in or what. A lot of this is just hard water staining, but I think actually this was the most splashy leaf she had. All that is just water sitting on the leaf, leaving residue. So yeah, this is just one vine right now, so I want to cut it. I might only, I don't think I'm going to be real crazy with this cutting. I think I'm just going to cut it like, oh, I don't know. This is the hard part, is deciding where I want to cut. I think I'm just going to cut off this long vine right there. Oh, almost fell. Okay. So there she is, and this is what I took off. It's just one little cutting, but there. So that is Hoya Macrophylla Snow Queen. At least that's what I got her as. And there is our cutting. You can see it does have a little bit of splash, but not like a ton. Nothing crazy. So I don't know. The next Hoya, I forgot the name of this one. I don't remember the ID of this at all. I think it's a Macrophylla / latifolia type, maybe? Because like that leaf really screams latifolia to me, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. So I'm just going to cut her right here. And that is the remainder. This might be a Hoya Chiang Mai, maybe? I think that actually might be what this is. Hoya Chiang Mai. And I don't know if that's actually in the latifolia family or not, but I think that's what this is. I don't know. There she is after cutting her. And then we've got this piece right here that we cut off. It's got 2 leaves and then one little new one on the way, and a good amount of stem on the back that we can root. And I'm just gonna leave that as it is with these 2 little tendrils going on. But there's that guy. So that is her. She also has this cool little Gemini leaf in the back. See how it looks like kind of like a fishtail? But anyways, there's that guy. Next This is my Hoya Incrasada moon shadow, and she's not too spindly, but she's also not like full at all. So I want to go ahead and cut her. I'm gonna probably do a fairly hefty cut on this one. So first cut I'm going to make is going to be right here at the back, this whole vine right here. And then the next cut, I'm going to cut this vine right here. We're cutting it back to here. And the reason I'm kind of doing a more aggressive cut with this is because her new growth has started to revert. So really I should maybe cut that off. Let's just go ahead and do it, and I'll just root that on its own and see if it's just gonna turn into regular Hoya Incrasada and not with the variegation on the inside. So this is what she's left with after I cut all of that off. It's so small, but hopefully we'll get some new growth and it will be variegated. You can see this is a newer leaf, and there's just a faint bit of variegation on it. So I don't know, but now we have these cuttings to work with. So I'm gonna leave this green one as it is with those two leaves, and then this one I could cut into two, but I might leave it, honestly. Hold on, let's cut this one first. I might see, this one is weird too because these are two newer leaves right here and here, but then if you also look in the middle here, there's that leaf with a hint of variegation in the middle. So I think I'm just gonna cut this vine in half, so we'll have this bottom that still has nice variegation still present on it, and then the top that has those newer leaves. And then I think I will just leave this cutting as is for now. So that is it for the Hoya Incrasada moon shadow. Now these next two I really don't want to cut at all, but I feel like I should. So first we have my Hoya AH074. Look how much she's grown. If you remember, I got this when it had 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves. So it had these two and these two, and everything after that has been new growth. It's put out in my care and it's done really well. But as you can see, it's just one long vine, and I like my Hoyas to be fuller and bushier. So I think it's time. She also needs a repot because she's getting fairly root bound, and I think she would just enjoy a nice little upgrade. So that's going to be another one that we repot today as well. But first I have to decide where I want to cut. It's hard. I think I'm gonna cut above these two leaves, so it'll be these three at the top. Let's do that. And while I do say I'm scared to cut my Hoyas, you honestly should. I really encourage chopping your Hoyas because they usually will flesh out multiple new growth points from the base of the plant when you do cut them. So there's my AH074 after a cut. And here is the cutting that we have, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into two just because I want more than one cutting. So there, we've got this cutting, two leaf, and then we've got the top with just this one leaf right there, and then this little tendril going on. So there is the AH074, which I don't know, I'm kind of sad to cut, but I'm also excited to see it become a bigger, bushier plant, you know? Okay, and the last one that I know for sure we're cutting, I honestly might find more if I look around, I probably could, but is gonna be this guy. And this one I really don't want to cut, but also, like I said, it's just one long vine. So this is my Hoya Globulosa or villosa. I'm not sure what the correct term is. And she has been going crazy, and a lot of these leaves are fairly fresh and new. But yeah, it's one long vine. And I also need to make a plant of this for Kelsey, which is who I got it from. We did a trade and then also partial trade where she wanted me to go ahead and grow out a couple of her Hoyas, and then after I got them growing, go ahead and just cut them and get her own plant from them. So this was one of those, and I need to do that. So I think I'm gonna do a pretty severe chop on this. I think I'm going to cut this all the way down to those 4 leaves. But yeah, when I got it, it only had those 2 oldest leaves. So it had this leaf and this leaf. Everything after that I've grown. So I think we're gonna cut it right here, and she'd only have 4 leaves. And that's really scary, but I think that's what I want to do. So yeah, we're gonna do it. Okay, I just have to do it without thinking too long because then I'll regret it. There is my Globulosa or villosa. After the cut, just down to 4 leaves, you can see that sap coming out really well. And this guy, I don't know if I'll repot it or not. I'm going to uppot it and see what the roots look like. They don't look too crazy around the jar, but she dries out really fast. So I don't know if in the middle it's super compact or not. We're just gonna look and see. But here is our cutting, and that makes me so sad, but gotta do what you gotta do. So we're gonna cut this into more. There's 1, there's 2, I think 1 more, and there's 3. Okay, so now we've got this cutting. We've got this cutting. These leaves are kind of new, so it makes me a little bit nervous. But like I said, she's just gonna keep on putting out new leaves, and I'll never want to cut it, so I need to go ahead and cut it. There's this one. And lastly, there's this longer one, which it has that fully formed leaf. These 2 aren't fully formed yet, so that's why I decided to just stop there and not make like this up another cutting, because this leaf probably wouldn't be able to sustain it. So there's that. So we cut everything that I knew I wanted to cut. Let me do one more quick look around my Hoyas and see if anything else I might want to cut. I'm thinking no, but you know, something could always happen, so let me just look real quick. Okay, so I did actually find 2 more Hoyas that I do want to cut. This first one is my Hoya Lyi, and for some reason she's just been hating life. I need to unpot it again. I just repotted her because I thought maybe there was a problem going on, and she's still, not just, it's been a few weeks and she still looks bad. She doesn't look good at all. So I want to repot this, see what's going on. I might need to reroot it, but in the meantime I do want to take cuttings for insurance, so I'm gonna go ahead and take some of those. And this one's also gonna be fairly dramatic of a cutting. Oh my gosh, that was way more than I meant for. I didn't know that these 2 vines were connected at that spot that I just cut. So that is definitely more than I had intended, but okay. So yeah, now we have this cutting with a fair little bit of stem right there. And see, and she looks hydrated, like she's She's putting out the Hoya sap like normal, but she just has not been happy. I don't know what's going on. And then we have this cutting, which was the vine I had intended to cut. I might actually, maybe not. I was thinking I might cut this again. Yeah, I will. Okay, so then I cut that into this piece. Gotta cover my face for it to focus, if it will. That cutting. And then we have this cutting. And then we also have this cutting. And this one has the peduncle on it. So I hope I don't kill this one. So I pretty much completely hacked back the Hoya Lyi. And now I'm a bit sad because I didn't mean to cut it that much, but it's okay. We'll regrow and we'll have a bushier plant afterwards. Yep. Okay. We're gonna figure her out today. Just spilled some of this oil. And then the last Hoya that I want to cut. This is a lot of Hoya cuttings, I'm now realizing. We've got a lot to go through. Wow. Okay. The last Hoya I want to cut is going to be my Hoya Finlaysonii. So this guy has had a fairly hard time. She does need a repot just to get some of this algae out. But this plant I did have to reroot because she got mealybugs. And she is finally starting to bounce back. This is actually a new leaf right here. It is really pretty. But yeah, I don't love the way she's looking right now. So I think I'll just cut her back and we'll give her some a nice clean environment to live in instead of all of this algae, and we'll go from there. So yeah, we're kind of starting over, and this is going to be pretty extreme chops here, but this is intentional extreme chops. So there goes that one, and then goes that one, and then we're gonna go above where this new leaf has come out, and there goes that one. So now that is what my Hoya Finlaysonii is looking like. You can tell the bright green leaves were grown in different conditions, and then once I started getting growth from her, it's these darker green leaves that have grown out in my conditions. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this new leaf though. It looks really good. So if we could keep getting more new growth like that, I would be very happy. So there's that cut. And now I want to cut these into more cuttings as well because I'm an animal. So let's do that. This one is just gonna get cut once right there. So now we've got this two-leafer. Again, these are cuttings that were grown in my condition, or these leaves, and that's why they're darker than the original leaves. So there's one, and then here's the bottom of that. Again, it's a darker but bigger leaf grown in my conditions. So there's that one. Now we've got these leaves, and hold up, where did I cut? That's the top. This is the bottom. Huh. I don't like how close this is. I like more stem, but I don't want to keep this all as one, so we're just gonna do it right there. So now we've got that cutting, and I could cut it again, but I really honestly don't feel like it. I think we're good with that. And then this one, the little two-leafer. And then the last vine, I believe that's the bottom, yeah, and that's the top. This vine, we're gonna be kind of dramatic with. So we're gonna cut that off. Then we're gonna cut that off. Then we're gonna cut that off. And then we're left with this. Honestly, I guess I'll leave it, but this tendril looks so woody. I know something can still grow from it, but I also just don't like the way that it looks. But I'll stop. Okay. So let's try to get these in my pot. I did not pick a big enough pot. Those are all my Hoya cuttings. Oh, and this one. That scares me. That's a lot. That's a lot of Hoya. Okay. Alright, so for now we're just going to set these to the side so they can finish bleeding, and then we'll deal with them in a bit. And we are going to move on to repotting some of these, getting them into like fresh substrate and things like that. So let me get resituated a little bit and then we'll go into that. Okay, so got my supplies, I've got my Hoyas, and I'm ready to see what is going on in some of these. So let's go ahead and start that. So first let's just do this little Hoya Michelle. See what the roots look like. Doesn't want to just fall out of the pot, so maybe that's a good sign. Or maybe it means nothing at all. I don't know. We'll see. Making sure we don't have root mealies, because they have kind of gone around my plant collection, but I don't see any. Okay, so these roots are completely dry. That is what the roots look like, and they are just dry as a bone. So I don't know, yeah, I don't think they're even good anymore. They shouldn't be that flimsy. Oh, I found a single root mealie right in the center. You can tell the difference between root mealybugs. I already smashed it. I should have shown y'all first. The difference between root mealybugs and like perlite, because, oh, here you can kind of see it. The root mealybugs will be a brighter, more vibrant white and kind of fuzzy. So let's see if this will focus. Right in here, there is some root mealybugs. I don't know if you'll be able to see that at all, but it's a lot brighter of a white. And then when it's just like perlite, you're not like here. Here's like some perlite that's just holding on. It's not as vibrant. Come on, focus. Not as vibrant, and it's more of some stark lines between it. So this could be a reason it's not been doing well as good as well, but there's not many at all. They're really just deep in there. So what I'm gonna do now is actually just cut all of these roots off, and we're just gonna completely reroot this, because root mealies are really hard to get rid of. So we're just not even gonna bother with any of those old roots, and we're just gonna start over fresh. So that's not a repot, and now I need to throw all of this away. Okay, give me just a second. I gotta go dump this. Okay, I'm really hoping we don't just find a whole bunch of root mealies today, because I'm not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood. So, fingers crossed. I'm looking for a container we can dump this in, just in case it is good substrate still, there's no root mealies, then I'll reuse it. But if I find root mealies, then unfortunately you pretty much just have to throw it all away. So next we're working on this Snow Queen, and we're gonna see what's going on in here. Okay, I can already see them. It's root mealies. For sure. Well, I thought, hold on. No, yeah, it is. Okay, so I have to just throw all of this substrate away. And we're not putting anything in that container. So I'm gonna show them to you again up close. They really have been going through my whole collection of Hoyas. I really should have just given them all new substrate when I first started finding them, but I was being naive and hopeful. And yeah, it was stupid. I was being stupid is what I was being. Okay, so let me see here for you. So if you can see the really bright white in there, and it looks kind of fuzzy, like right by in front of my thumb. Right in there, that is root mealies. The end of this right there, that's root mealies. I'm not a happy camper right now, so I don't want to have to reroot all of these Hoyas, but that's gonna be the best idea, honestly. So actually, let's just do this into this container because it'll be easier to just throw it all away. Throw it all away. Well, this video took a turn that I didn't know it was gonna take. Root mealies on your Hoyas. Okay, let's look again. See them all in there, all over this leca? Like, ugh. Yep, they're all in there. They're even kind of up this stem a little bit. It looks like maybe. I'm not sure. But we're gonna do that and cut off the base. I might honestly just have to sacrifice these bottom leaves because it doesn't look good. Like, look at this stem that's left. It does not look good. And I don't know how you'll grow from that. Okay. Well, not the way I wanted this video to go. So yeah, we're sacrificing that one, this one, and this one. I need something for this to actually root back from. So I just cut off the bottom leaves. Now this is what we're left with. And this is turning into just a Hoya cuttings video. I don't even have any Hoyas left to show you. They're all turning into cuttings, so we're sacrificing these leaves. I'm not bothering with it because I don't want to. Okay. So now I'm just gonna unpot all of these Hoyas. I actually didn't think this Incrasada Moonshadow needed a repot, but we're gonna check them all. I have the bone-eyed systemic, and I know it treats mealybugs, but it doesn't specifically say root mealybugs. So, pulling some of this substrate off. I'm not going to be too aggressive in case we don't have to re-root this whole thing. But you do kind of have to get into the middle. That's where they like to hide a lot. Yeah, no, I got all the way to the center and I don't see any root mealies. So I'm just going to leave her root system as it is and really just plop her back into this pot because she was doing fine. I mean, kind of. Looks like she may have had more roots and then I let it dry too much. It happens. So you're just going straight back in here, my darling. And I'll give you some water. Because you're dry. Dry as a bone, my friend. Oh crap. shelving stuff. Okay. So there, I just popped her back in to her pot because I don't see any root mealies, and I'm very happy about that because that was going to be not fun if all we're finding is root mealies. Okay, let's go to this Hoya Lyi. This should not have root mealies because I repotted it like 2 weeks ago. I just don't know what's wrong with these roots though otherwise. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this one. Because these roots are just peeling off, but they're not dry, but they're also not rotted. I don't know what is going on here. And yeah, there's no root mealies in here. Interesting. So yeah, she just needs to be rerooted completely. Okay. And it's not for root mealies this time. I don't really know what's wrong with this dude. I don't know what happened to those roots. They're not like black or dark brown. They look as though they're going to be healthy roots, but then the outsides just fall off. It's a mystery. I think one of these I knowingly saw root. Maybe it was the Snow Queen actually. Okay. I don't see any on this. The Finlaysonii is our next guest. Out like this, like this. She did previously have root mealies, and I think I had already told you that. And I already had rerooted it, so I think we should be good on this one. New healthy roots. Yeah, I think we're good. I don't see any root mealybugs. Okay, so that is a happy success story. I think I'm going to, it'd be cute if I put her in this, maybe. It's kind of big, but think about after we have cuttings to put in here, they'll fill it out pretty well. So I think we're going to use this. I'm going to go ahead and reuse this soil. If you can see, this is DIY pond. The pond, or the algae, really sticks to the outside of the jar. It doesn't really come off on most of your substrate, so I'm not too worried about like boiling out the algae or anything because it really doesn't come off on your substrate too bad. If you wanted to be super sure you got rid of the algae, you could rinse your substrate, but honestly the algae doesn't really hurt the plants that I've noticed. Like this Finlaysonii, I was doing fine. The new roots look really healthy and nice and white. I just wanted to double check it because I've been finding root mealybugs lately, and just because that was really bad algae, like to the bad extent to where it looks ugly. So that's why I wanted to repot it, but really for the health of the plant, it was pushing out new growth. It had previously struggled, but that was from the old root mealies, but the algae was not what was doing it. So really, I'm not that worried about algae, except like aesthetically, it's not very cute. So there is the Finlaysonii. I am actually going to sprinkle systemic, oh, not dump, just sprinkle. Oh, that I still dumped. Still dumped. Put some systemic in it, and then I'm topping with a little bit more of my substrate. Also, actually, I'm gonna put mosquito bits in it as well, just because I've been having really bad fungus gnats lately, and I'd like to decrease that if possible. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and Put some mosquito bits in there as well. And there, now she's all topped off and ready to grow a whole lot more after my vicious chop. But I'm glad she's still doing well. This guy is what I think is the Chiang Mai. I don't visibly see root mealies, but it would surprise me. I haven't repotted this in probably 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. Like the bare minimum is like 7 months, and it's really not that algae ridden, but I want to check it. That is the moral of today's story. We gotta check it. Once again, I'm not seeing root mealies, so that's a good sign. But there are some like dead roots, so I'm gonna just try to pull some of those off. I think this has gone through, it's probably what was the same with the Lyi, except that one was like all of her roots. Letting it dry out for too long, and then when you do go back and water, then it rots basically. But they're still not like brown. They're just like not healthy. I don't know what way to describe it. A couple of them were dark brown, but not all of them. Let's repot her into something. I didn't bring that many vessels, but I've got some clear plastic cups. I mean, that'll do for now. Did I even take cuttings of this? I think maybe I took one. Is that what it was? Or two? Oh no, this is one. No, that was the... I don't even know. My brain's going all over the place. I don't even know right now. Okay, we can reuse this substrate once again. Praise the Lord. I really hate having to completely throw out substrate, but when it comes to root mealies, I'm not willing to like just try to treat the substrate because they are relentless. They don't want to go away. They will come back if you leave even just a hair, and then they'll multiply, and then they will attack all of your plants all over again, and it's not something I want to be doing. So I just throw away any root mealie ridden substrate, and I recommend you do as well. I don't recommend trying to treat it. I mean, you can, because I know it sucks to be wasteful, but trust me, when I don't know, see a problem going on with the plant, I don't get rid of the substrate. I keep it. But root mealies, I'm not going to keep it. Okay, so I've got her pretty much down in this cup. Okay, that's good enough. And now we will do a little bit of systemic in there. And then we're going to do a little bit of mosquito bits as well, because fungus gnats can die. And then we will top that off using this. This is going to be a long video, I can already tell. Maybe I need to split it up into 2 parts. I might ask you guys on Instagram. The problem is most of my subscribers are not following me on Instagram, and I can say that because I only have like 300 followers on my plant Instagram, and there's over 1,000 of you subscribed to my channel. So what's the deal? Those of you who don't follow my Instagram, what's the deal with that? I want an explanation. I'm just kidding. Okay, there's the Chiang Mai. Thankfully, root mealie free. I think I just neglected it a little too hard, and that's why she looks so bleh. But we're doing better. We're working on things. We're gonna try to improve our relationship. Hi, I'm back. So I started unpotting my doi tongue and blabbing, but my camera decided to stop recording, so I don't know what you've seen and heard and what you haven't. But just in case you're not up to date, this is my doi tongue. we're repotting her to be on the safe side. And this one is going to be a little bit harder to be able to tell if there's root mealies or not, because look. It's covered in perlite. Like, this was a perlite heavy pond mixture. So, yeah, I don't see any. Usually they'll be more fuzzy, and like I was saying earlier, they'll be like a lot brighter white. So honestly, I'm just gonna put her back in this container because those roots aren't crazy by any means. There's plenty for her to keep rooting into. So she's going right back where she came from. Right back where she came from. I'm just gonna raise it up a little bit so maybe those roots can travel down more than what they have been able to. Back where she came from, good as new. No root mealies to report. Okay, so really I've only had 2, right? Or maybe just 1. Did the Michelle? No, the Michelle did. So it's 2. We're at 2. 2 root mealied plants. This is my trash one. This is my good substrate one. For now, until I accidentally open up a root mealie Hoya into that one, and then, you know, we're screwed all over again. AH074. Look at that. It like still looks like the little square container. That's good. Okay, now fingers crossed that I don't find root mealies. I'm trying to be careful because these roots look really good. Like, they look healthy. So if there's not root mealies, I don't really want to disturb them. You know what the other thing I just thought of, and it's really stupid that I'm thinking about it now? I should have been washing my hands. Because I definitely touched root mealies earlier, and I don't know. I mean, I don't visibly see them on my hands, but you never know. But now it's too late and we're already here. So we're going to just pray that if there was a residual root mealie on my fingertip, that the systemic does its job and kills it. Do as I say and not as I do. I am just a plant hobbyist, and I am not a teacher. I am not teaching you what you should do with your plants. How exciting! My AH074 got an up pot, and she got cut, so eventually we'll have a bigger plant. I'm so excited. Yeah, look at her in there. And she doesn't have root mealies. Okay, I have to tend to the dogs or they're gonna have a heart attack. I'll be back. Okay, we're on the home stretch. We only have 1 more Hoya that I want to unpot and check out her roots. And I can see fairly well through this container, and I don't see anything that looks like root mealybugs. I wonder how many times I've said that in this video so far. Did anybody count? Because now I'm curious. Anyways, but she seems fairly root bound into here. I don't know what my cat is doing next to me. You need to chill. She's trying to put her face into this pot. Why? I don't know. Must smell good. Now it's on her hand. Why are you so weird? She's like trying to get into a 3-inch pot. You're a whole cat. It's not gonna work. Okay. Root mealie check. We're looking good. It's weird. This Hoya doesn't have many like of the fine spindly roots. They're all like larger, more intact roots. Will you get, what is going on? No root mealybugs for her. Fantastic, wonderful, amazing. You're also going in a plastic cup. Because I didn't bring much else. But after we have some cuttings rooted and we repot them together, I'll put them in a more suitable environment. But for now, plastic cup it is. So glad. We really only found root mealybugs on 2 Hoyas, so that's a good sign. 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because the third one that we have to reroot, it was the Hoya Lyi, and it does not have root mealybugs. It just hates me for some reason right now. I think it was too much neglect, actually, but we're not going to admit any fault here. Get out! Go. Go. Get out. Go. Oh. Anyways, yeah, you're not going to catch me admitting fault here. She's trying to get into a 3-inch pot. It's not going to work. It's not happening. You're not going to fit. Why are my animals the way they are? You're going to knock over my Hoyas I just potted up. Systemic, mosquito bits, and then we might wrap up this video because everybody just took crack while I've been recording. Can you see anything? No. Everybody took crack while I've been recording, and now they're acting like crackheads. Don't know why. Why did you think that was a good idea? Didn't raise any of you to do drugs. Okay, there she is. Hoya Globulosa, root mealy free, thank the Lord. And just in a plastic cup now because I am all about class. Okay. Now I'm thinking I should end the video here, otherwise this might be a 2-hour-long video. But also, I don't know, I don't have any excuse. I don't know, I might just keep filming. Because I have some Hoya propagations here. I have more up there. And then I have all those cuttings we just took, and those all still need to go somewhere. Maybe I will make it 2 parts. If I do make it 2 parts, thank you so much for watching this video in this super chaotic mess. And finding root mealybugs with me. You should go follow me on Instagram. I'll put my name on the screen right here. And yeah, that's all from me today. You'll probably see more of me tomorrow if I cut this into 2 parts. Because I'm impatient and I don't follow a schedule. If I got something ready for you, it's going out. So, anyways, yeah. So I'll see you guys in my next video. I don't know what kind of mood I'm in today. I truly don't, and I'm so sorry. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.